The gunshot split the Afghan morning like a whip crack across silence. Sergeant Jake Brooks shoved Maya away from the firing line. Medics don't fight, Chen. That's not your job. 45 soldiers turned to watch, some smirking, others shaking their heads. Maya Chen stood motionless, 5 feet 4 inches of apparent fragility, surrounded by 6-foot frames built for war. Her white medical corps uniform stood out like a surrender flag among gray combat uniforms. She didn't argue, just stepped backward, dark eyes dropping to the dirt, exactly what they expected from a female medic who didn't belong. But if anyone had been paying attention, perhaps Master Sergeant Daniel Thompson, who'd seen too much in 30 years to miss details, they would have noticed how Maya stood, weight distributed perfectly, shoulders open despite the lowered head, hands loose, but ready. They would have noticed the calluses on her knuckles not from holding syringes. They would have seen how her eyes swept the firing range in 1.5 seconds, counting exits, noting sightlines, identifying cover positions with automatic assessment. But nobody was paying attention because in modern warfare, medics don't fight. That's the unwritten law. Back to the med tent, sweetheart, Specialist Lisa Turner called, voice dripping with cruelty. Maya nodded and turned away. Under her jacket, nobody saw the tattoo along her ribs. 18 DNSDQ. They were about to learn just how badly they had miscalculated. Maya walked back to the medical tent. Behind her, the range erupted with laughter. Did you see her face? Corporal Mike Davidson's mockery carried across the distance. Probably thinks YouTube videos make her tactical. Maya's jaw tightened, then relaxed. Control, always control. She'd learned that in a cave in Syria, where staying silent meant staying alive. The medical tent was empty. Captain Sarah Mitchell was conducting sick call elsewhere. Maya began organizing supplies with precision most attributed to being D. They didn't recognize it as muscle memory from assembling kits in complete darkness under mortar fire. Hemostatic gauze, top left. Tourniquets, top right. Chest seals, middle. Every piece positioned for access with either hand. Any lighting, any stress level. Her hands reached the locked cabinet containing the M9 Beretta Captain Mitchell had quietly issued despite Maya's non-combatant status. Maya's fingers trembled. She pulled back. Not yet. Maybe never again. That was the deal after Damascus, after watching her entire team die because she'd been 30 seconds too slow with a tourniquet, because she'd chosen to return fire instead of focusing on healing. Never again. Except muscle memory didn't care about deals. Private Jaime Rodriguez appeared in the entrance. Barely 19. Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. What they did was wrong. You have every right to train. Maya managed a small smile. It's okay. My job is medical care, not marksmanship. Still, Specialist Turner said nasty things in the barracks. About diversity quotas, how you'd freeze if anything real happened. Don't. Maya's voice came sharp. Don't make yourself a target for me, Jaime. It's not worth it. Alone again, Maya allowed herself 5 seconds to acknowledge the weight pressing down. 5 seconds to remember why she'd chosen the quiet path, where nobody asked about the 3 years her record marked as classified training assignment. Then back to work. Soldiers were counting on her whether they respected her or not. The lunch hour brought the daily trial of the mess hall. Maya timed her arrival carefully, scanning for empty space that never existed. She headed for a corner table. Halfway there, Sergeant Brooks's voice boomed. Chen, heard you tried weapons qual. What's next? Ranger school. His table erupted in laughter. Maya kept walking, expression neutral. Don't engage. Never engage. I think it's sweet. Lisa Turner's sugary venom cut through. She watches movies. Thinks being a soldier is looking tough instead of being tough. Stick to band-aids, Chen. The room's temperature spiked. Every eye on her. Then Master Sergeant Thompson's gravelly voice. Turner, Brooks, shut your traps and eat. The attention shifted. Maya found her corner, sat with her back to the wall. Another habit she couldn't break. She ate mechanically while ordinary conversations swirled football scores. Girlfriends. The concerns of people who hadn't watched their world burn in 6 minutes. Thompson approached. Mind if I sit? He worked through breakfast in silence. Then, you handle yourself well. Most would have snapped by now. Not much point in that. But there's also not much point hiding who you are. People sense when someone's not showing their full hand. Thompson's pale blue eyes met hers. That why you swept this room for threats. Why you chose the corner with best sightlines to both exits. Habit from deployment. We all got habits. Most of us don't got habits from deployments that don't show up in records. Before Maya could respond, formation in 5 minutes. Thompson stood. Stay sharp, Chen. This base is too small for secrets. The formation took shape. Lieutenant Chris Parker, 26 and West Point confident, addressed them. Combat readiness, drill at 1400 hours. Mandatory for all combat personnel. Convoy operations, ambush response, casualty evacuation. Maya leaned forward. Medical personnel will be observing only, Parker continued. You'll be at the aid station receiving casualties. We need our medics fresh, not worn out playing soldier. After formation, Maya approached Parker. Sir, I'd like to request inclusion in the drill. Negative. Non-combatants stay back. With respect, Medical personnel face combat too. Sergeant Chen, let's be realistic about capabilities. Combat drills require skill sets that take years to develop. Your role is critical, but it's not this. Understood. Maya swallowed words about 2 years in Special Forces qualification. About missions in Helmand Province where she'd return fire while performing emergency surgery. Understood, sir. She caught the look between Parker and Brooks. Amusement. Can you believe she thought she belonged? Later, Master Sergeant Thompson asked questions. Captain Mitchell pulled Maya aside. You're drawing attention. Smart questions that lead to classified sections. 2 people asking why a Special Forces medical sergeant is hiding at a conventional FOB. I just want to serve quietly, for people like us. Yes, it is. Because we're not built for quiet? Eventually, the universe puts us back where we belong. I don't belong there anymore. Not after Surya. Surviving isn't failure. Punishing yourself doesn't honor their memory. It wastes the skills they died believing in. Before Maya could respond, Specialist Marcus stumbled in. Leg bent wrong. Bone through torn fatigues. Blood pooling. Rock march drill he tripped. Training took over. Get him on the table now. Maya was across the tent in 3 strides. Her hands flew over the injury with rapid precision from treating blast wounds under fire. Marcus, look at me. You're going to be fine. Captain, start an IV. Push morphine. She performed the reduction with speed that made Mitchell's eyebrows rise. 7 minutes after arrival, Marcus was stabilized, packaged for medevac. The helicopter loaded him, as a crowd watched. Brooks approached. That was impressive, Chen. Really, you saved Marcus. Just doing my job. Still, medical skills and combat skills are different. You understand that, right? Back to the box they needed her in. As the crowd dispersed, an older Afghan man in traditional dress stood at a distance. Recognition flashed. Dr. Rashid, the interpreter from Helmand Province 2011, whose brother's life she'd saved. I know you, he whispered. You were with the special team. You saved Ahmed. You have me confused. No, I never forget. You had different name, different unit, but same eyes, same hands. Why pretend to be less? I'm exactly what my uniform says. Rashid studied her. A lion cannot hide among house cats forever. Eventually, the hunt calls. The next morning at the range, Sergeant Williams let her shoot unofficially. She fired with careful mediocrity, hitting enough to pass, missing enough to seem inexperienced. It hurt to shoot this poorly. Williams examined the barrel. You're holding back. Your groupings are too inconsistent precision that suggests real training, then scattered like you've never seen a rifle. Nobody's that unpredictable unless it's on purpose. I'm just nervous. I see someone with solid fundamentals deliberately degrading performance. I see muscle memory that says military combat training. He paused. You can only pretend to be less than you are for so long before it feels like lying. That night, Lieutenant Parker called an emergency briefing. Priority, mission. Village 30 clicks. North on Highway 1. Taliban activity. Presence patrol tomorrow. 0600. Maya's stomach dropped. She knew that route intimately, the same corridor where her Special Forces team had run dozens of missions. Highway 1 was a death trap for units that didn't understand the ground. Every danger point flashed through her mind, but she was supposed to be ignorant. Sergeant Chen, you'll be in Vehicle 3, medical support. Stay in the vehicle unless we have casualties. Clear? Clear, sir. That night Maya couldn't sleep, staring at the ceiling, internal war raging. She could refuse, but eventually, someone would patrol that route. Eventually soldiers would face danger she could see coming. She finally gave up at 0300 and prepared her kit, packing extra supplies for mass casualties standard patrols weren't supposed to encounter. Captain Mitchell found her at 0430. If something happens and you have to choose between maintaining cover and keeping people alive, which will you choose? I'll do whatever I have to do to bring everyone home. When this is over, you'll have to deal with consequences. You can't hide from yourself forever. The convoy assembled at dawn. 4 Humvees, 16 soldiers. Maya climbed into Vehicle 3 with Rodriguez driving, Davidson on the gun. Ever been outside the wire? Rodriguez asked. No, first time. Not so bad. Though I guess medical types don't get much combat training, huh? Maya forced a smile. Not much, no. The convoy rolled out. Maya's eyes tracked everything light, creating perfect shadows for IED triggerment. Traffic to light. Absence of children, no women gathering water. All indicators something was wrong. But she was supposed to be ignorant. At kilometer 8, the road narrowed between rocks. Ambush, Site Alpha. Nothing happened. See? Nothing to worry about, Rodriguez said. You know, yesterday when I bumped your bag, you sorted by tactical priority. That's not basic medic school, just something I read online. At kilometer 14, the Wadi crossing, Maya scanned ridge, a shape that could be a fighting position. Her mouth opened to warn, then closed. How would she explain knowing what to look for? They passed through clean. The village appeared at 1043 streets. Too quiet, too empty. Wrong. All vehicles halt. Parker's voice crackled. We'll proceed on foot. Brooks and his squad dismounted. 14 soldiers spreading in a clustered formation that made them vulnerable. Maya watched. Every muscle coiled. Something was wrong. Everything was wrong. Then the world exploded. The RPG hit Vehicle 1. The Humvee flipped, crashed in flames. One heartbeat of silence. Then hell. AK-47 fire from 3 positions, rooftops north, windows east, wall west, classic L-shaped ambush. Contact, contact, Davidson screamed, swinging the gun. Bullets pinged off doors. Maya grabbed her medical bag, reached for the door. Stay in the vehicle. Rodriguez screamed while firing. An AK round punched through, caught Rodriguez in the shoulder. He screamed. Davidson took a round to the helmet, slumped. The gun went silent. Outside. Brooks was hit shoulder, arm hanging. Parker was down, leg wound. Turner frozen behind Vehicle 2, weapon 8 wounded, 4 dead. No effective response. Taliban advancing. Maya stared at Rodriguez's dropped M4. This was the moment. Cover, or lives. Syria or now. The last time she'd picked up a rifle in combat, her team died because she fought instead of healed. But this wasn't Syria. These soldiers had no backup. They were dying because she was too afraid. Maya grabbed Rodriguez, dragged him behind the engine block. The movement tore her vest, exposed the tattoo, 18 DNSDQ, Special Forces crest. 3 tour dates. Rodriguez's eyes went wide. Your tattoo, that Special Forces. You're bleeding. Stay here. Maya picked up the M4. The weight was familiar, comfortable. Her thumb flicked the selector to semi. She stood. Thompson in Vehicle 4 saw the tattoo. His voice cut across radio. Oh my God. She's Special Forces. She's 18 Delta. Maya's demeanor shifted. Hunched shoulders straightened. Uncertain movements became fluid, deadly. Her eyes went cold, tactical. A Taliban fighter rushing forward hesitated. The hesitation cost him his life. Maya's first shots were perfect double tap center mass. She was transitioning to the next target before the first fell. Vehicle 4. Suppressing fire north. Vehicle 2. Pull wounded to center. Move now. Soldiers responded to command presence automatically. Maya moved with controlled aggression, identifying the squad leader and dropping him with a headshot at 70 meters. The formation wavered. Machine gun, roofline, left. Grenades, window, second floor. Jaime threw a grenade, threw with shaking hands. The explosion silenced AK fire. Maya worked through targets with clinical efficiency. Aimed shots. Controlled breathing. Perfect discipline. This was what she'd been trained for at Fort Bragg, refined over 3 tours. Tried to forget? 4 minutes. That's how long it took Maya to break the ambush. 9 insurgents dead, remainder fleeing. Then she immediately transitioned to medic. Tourniquet on Brooks. Pressure bandage on Parker. She was working on her 4th patient when Thompson approached. What team? Oda 7231 Medical Sergeant. Tritud. Brooks semi-conscious. Read her tattoo? That's Delta Force support. Your special operations. Rodriguez picked up her dog tags. Read aloud. Chen. Maya L18 Delta 40. 18 Delta 40. Davidson stared. That's Special Forces Medical Sergeant. Senior level. You've been this whole time doing my job. Maya's voice was flat. Radio 4 Medevac. Grid November Kilo 472 83391. Multiple urgent surgical. It wasn't a request. It was a command. Medevac arrived 18 minutes later. Chief Warrant Officer Hayes climbed out. Froze when he saw Maya Chen. From Syria, 2014. We thought you were get these men to Bagram now. Hayes saluted with respect reserved for heroes. Yes, Sergeant. Brooks grabbed Maya's hand. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for everything. The range, the comments. I didn't know. Focus on healing. That's all that matters. Turner crawled over, face streaked with tears. You saved my life. I was frozen. After everything I said, it's what I do. Rodriguez couldn't meet her eyes. I sabotaged the radio yesterday, testing you. If you hadn't fixed it, we'd all be dead. Next time you want to test someone, remember, quiet professionals don't advertise their skills. By the time they returned to FOB Kandahar at 1630, word had spread. Colonel Anderson stood at the gate with the entire base in formation, 200 soldiers at present arms. As Vehicle 3 rolled through, Anderson stepped forward and saluted. Maya climbed out. Uniform torn and bloody, cover destroyed. She returned the salute with precision. Staff Sergeant Chen, Anderson's voice carried. Your service record just came through. Full clearance. He read from a document, 3 bronze stars with valor, 2 purple hearts, combat medical badge with star, Special Forces tab, Ranger tab, expert field medical badge, 67 combat missions across 3 theaters. He paused. Syria mission classified top secret. Official casualty report lists ODA 7,231 as total loss, 5 KIA. No survivors. Anderson looked directly at Maya, except there was one survivor. The medic who stayed behind, who held that cave for 11 hours, performing surgery with no light. The warrior who walked out carrying dog tags of people she couldn't save, punishing herself ever since. Maya's vision blurred. Entire formation. Attention. Hand salute. 200 hands rose as one. Anderson stepped closer, voice quiet. You can stop hiding now. Stop punishing yourself. Syria wasn't your fault. Now forgive yourself. That evening's messel was different. When Maya entered, the entire room stood. Thompson offered her a seat at the senior NCO table. You've always belonged here. Dr. Rashid appeared with chai. I was the interpreter for your team in Helmand 2011. You saved my brother Ahmed during that ambush. He's alive today, married with 2 children because of you. Brooks approached, stood at attention. I need to apologize in front of everyone. I judged you by appearance, by assumptions. I created an environment where competence was dismissed. That nearly got us killed. I was wrong. Completely, totally wrong. Maya stood, extended her hand. Apology accepted. Use this lesson to be a better leader. The mess hall erupted in applause. Over 3 days, the story spread. Pentagon analysts reviewed the after-action reports. Colonel Anderson announced policy changes. All medical personnel would receive integrated combat training. A Silver Star was recommended for Maya's actions, but the change that mattered most was smaller. Private Jaime approached during training. Sergeant Chen, I want to be exactly like you. Can you teach me? Maya looked at the young soldier. It's not easy. The training is brutal. You'll be held to standards most can't meet. I know, I want to try anyway. Maya smiled, pulled the 18D scroll patch from her pocket. This was mine. Don't keep it. Earn your own. But no, someone believes you can. 2 weeks later, Special Operations Command sent communication. They wanted Maya back, full reinstatement. Her pick of assignments. In Anderson's office. She held the offer. What are you going to do? I'm done fighting. I've spent enough time delivering death. I want to focus on life, but I can teach others to do both, to fight and heal, to be complete soldiers. Anderson smiled. How would you feel heading a new program? Female combat medic training. First of its kind. Turn motivated soldiers into what you are. Maya felt something unfold in her chest. Purpose. I accept. 6 months later, Maya stood before her first graduating class, 47 women who'd survived brutal training, proven themselves capable. She presented Jaime with her earned 18D scroll. You did it. Now prove the future of special operations includes everyone who can meet the standard. Later, her encrypted phone rang. A Syria country code that shouldn't exist. She answered. Ghost 72. This is Ghost 75, her team leader. The man whose dog tag she'd carried out, who'd been confirmed Kia? That's impossible. You died. You saw what they wanted you to see. We staged our deaths for a long-term operation, but something's gone wrong. We need extraction, medical support. We need you. I can't. I'm not that person anymore. I've built a life built on guilt for surviving us. Maya, you didn't fail in Damascus. We needed you to survive. 3 of your brothers are dying. Will you abandon them, or will you be what you've always been, our medic, our hope? Maya looked at photos of her students, her future built from ashes of her past. Then, at her old team photo, send coordinates. I'm coming. I knew you would. Medics don't fight unless our family needs us. Colonel Anderson found her an hour later. You got a call? They're alive. Some of them. Running a classified operation for 11 years. They need extraction. And you're thinking about going. I have responsibilities here. Your program will continue. Your students can train others. That's the beauty of building something sustainable. Anderson leaned forward. You came here to hide, to punish yourself. But you've become more than that. Your team is alive. Going back doesn't erase what you've built, it honors it. You're whole now. Whole people don't hide from hard choices. If I go, I might not come back. That's always been true. But you've never let that stop you. Because now I have something worth coming back to. Then that's your mission objective. Complete the operation. Save your team. Come home. Teach your students what you learned. Maya assembled her old kit: body armor, night vision, weapons, advanced medical supplies buried 3 years ago. This time, no guilt, no shame. Just purpose. Jaime found her. You're leaving, just for a while. Something I need to finish. The team from Syria. Are you coming back? That's the plan. But I'm not sure. Then I want you to have this. Jaime pulled out the 18D scroll Maya had given her. You said to earn my own. I did. This one's yours. Bring it back when you come home. Maya accepted the patch. I will. I promise. The next morning on the tarmac, Thompson appeared with a case containing SATCOM equipment and mission brief. Northern Syria, near Turkish border. Your team's been running interdiction against weapons trafficking. Missions reaching culmination, but they're compromised. Need immediate extraction. This is above my clearance. You're not going alone. I'm volunteering. Your team pulled my nephew out of Aleppo in 2011. I owe them. Brooks, Williams, and Hayes approached. We're coming too, Brooks said. You saved our lives. Time to return the favor. Teams don't leave people behind. Maya looked at these men who'd dismissed her 6 months ago, now willing to follow her into the unknown. Thank you. But understand this isn't sanctioned. If it goes wrong, there's no backup. Story of Special Operations. Thompson grinned. The flight took 14 hours. Maya studied mission parameters. Ghost 75's latest. Facility compromised. 3 injured. Heavy resistance. Need extraction within 72 hours, or mission failure becomes body recovery. At the safe house outside Gaziantep, Maya spread tactical maps. Primary target here. Transshipment point for weapons. My team's been embedded 11 years. They planned to interdict a major shipment but were identified. Now they're trapped. Guards? Brooks asked. 4250. Professional security. And we're 5-6. My team can still fight. We just need to create the opening. Thompson leaned over the map. Insert by helicopter. Move on foot. Breach here. Fight through. Extract 2LZ. Exfil by air. Simple. Hayes said dryly. Everything could go wrong, Maya said honestly. You can walk away now. No one moved. All right. We move at 0300. The infiltration went smooth. Hayes flew low through terrain masking. They landed 2.3 kilometers from target, moved through darkness with practiced silence. Williams placed shaped charges at the perimeter. The explosion was precise. Inside, the layout didn't match intelligence. They were 50 meters from the target building when shooting started, inside Maya's team fighting. They sprinted forward, breached the side entrance, cleared rooms, bodies in hallways. Ghost 72, second floor, east corridor. They charged up, engaging hostiles. Found Ghost 75 and 2 others barricaded in a laboratory. All wounded but alive, still fighting. Maya triaged while providing covering fire with her weak hand. 75. Sucking chest wound immediate. 77. Arterial bleed. 78. Burns and chemical exposure delayed but critical. Her hands flew through procedures. Chest seal. Tourniquet. Burn treatment. Bullets punched through walls. We need to move, Hayes shouted. Reinforcements incoming. 2 minutes? I'm not done. Maya's focus was absolute. She finished stabilizing. Ghost 75 stared at her. You came. I knew you would. Our medic never leaves anyone behind. Talk later. Move now. The extraction was chaos fighting room to room. Maya stayed protected while protecting the wounded. They made it outside as reinforcements arrived with heavy weapons. LZ is 2 clicks. Thompson shouted. We'll never make it carrying wounded. We don't leave people. Maya's voice cut through. Williams demo charges on fuel depot. Brooks, suppressing fire. Hayes, bring the bird to grid. November Kilo 4728, 3391. That's inside the compound. I know. Do it. Williams's charges detonated the depot in a fireball. Brooks silenced the machine gun. Hayes brought the helicopter screaming and low, landing where it technically couldn't. They loaded wounded in 15 seconds, lifted off as bullets tore through fuselage, made it across the border with 40 seconds of fuel remaining. Maya worked on her teammates for 6 hours, performing surgery that required a hospital but making do. When she finally stepped back, all 3 were stable. Ghost 75, conscious now, caught her hand. You kept your promise from Damascus. You said you'd always bring us home. You brought us home. I thought I failed you. You did exactly what we needed. Your combat skills bought us time. Your medical skills kept us alive. And now both just saved our lives again. Stop punishing yourself for being exactly what we needed. That's not failure. That's perfection. The words settled something broken for over a decade. Permission. Forgiveness. 2 weeks later, in Anderson's office. So what now? Command's offering anything you want. Maya thought about the offers, the recognition, the opportunities, then about Private Jaime and the 46 other graduates, the hundreds more in the pipeline. I want to go back to teaching. My students need me. They remind me why this matters. To make sure the next generation is better prepared, that they know they can be both warriors and healers. Anderson smiled. I was hoping you'd say that. Your next class starts in 2 weeks. 53 candidates. Maya returned to find students waiting. Jaime stood at formation front wearing the 18D scroll she'd earned. Welcome back, Sergeant. We missed you. Nobody yells at us properly when you're not here. Maya laughed, the sound genuine. Well then, let's fix that. Formation for morning PT in 10 minutes. As students scrambled, Maya stood in her office doorway, looking at the wall of photos. Her old team from Serial Live recovering. Her new students the future. 2 families, 2 purposes, connected by one truth. Medics don't fight until they absolutely have to. And when they do, they fight to win. Not for recognition, not for glory, but for the people standing beside them who deserve to come home. Maya picked up her training manual and headed to the field, ready to teach the next generation what she'd learned through blood, survival, and the long journey from broken to whole. Ready to prove the quietest professionals are often the most dangerous. Ready to show that real strength isn't about never being underestimated. It's about what you do when people finally see who you really are. And most importantly, ready to honor the people she'd lost by becoming the teacher she wished she'd had. The leader they deserved. The soldier who could be both fierce protector and gentle healer. Because that's what it meant to be 18 Delta. That's what it meant to be Maya Chen. And that's what it meant to finally, after 11 years of running, come home.